how are we doing? It's like my last few days in Paris. I figured I would make a little vlog because I feel like I've finally kind of found a bit, oh, okay. Love this color. I feel like I'm finally starting to find a bit more of a rhythm. The first few weeks are always kind of hard. Also, correct me if this is wrong, because some of you guys might know this, but someone was telling me that this is the rainiest or gloomiest fall you've had since the 1980s. Like, I know Paris fall is gloomy, but we're talking like 5 weeks straight rain. Like almost every single morning, I feel like I woke up to rain. Not ideal. And so I found a big comparison. I don't want to go. I'm sad about it. So I figured I'd capture a few little moments. Okay. In my silver era these days. Okay, I feel like that's much better. It's pretty cold out there, but I feel like I could use some fresh air before the day starts, so let's go. Go through the doors. Tell me that when I die, I'll be the ghost of you. Should know, the one knows to try to make time go by slow, keep you by my side. Just tell me this before I go. This pain au chocolat is so good. I swear one of these a day keeps the doctor away. Cures depression. I also picked up Year of the Monkey by Patti Smith not that long ago. It's interesting. It's like kind of her like musings, and it's very like dreamy and a bit absurd. But it's interesting because obviously I've read Just Kids, which was written when she was probably in her late teens into her 20s, whereas this is when she's in her 60s. So it's really fascinating kind of following her lifespan. And it's cool because it starts in Ocean Beach, San Diego, a very like hippie beach town that I lived in for years, which could not be more different than me out here in Paris. So I'm gonna keep making my way through this. Someone let me know why hearts of palm are so pricey out here. So, just been getting some work done. I'm excited because my sweet friend Nick, we're New York friends, but we've also done a lot of those like group trips together. So if you've seen some of those videos, you might have seen him, and I love him so much. He's here for the weekend. We're gonna have a cute little evening together. I'm gonna check out a museum, kind of in like the late afternoon, and then go to dinner at the restaurant of a friend, and then I think we'll go out. So it'll be a cute little exploratory day. So I'm excited. We've got quite the Maj Podge salad. We've got some hearts of palm, tomatoes, cucumbers, lentils, peppers. Basically, I have a hard time eating greens in Paris. So this is my way of forcing myself to get some veggies in. We've got the goods. I'm not gonna lie, this is not an accurate portrayal of what I've been eating in France. It's been a lot of carbs and cheese, but attempting to be healthy. So I head back to the States for the holidays in a couple days, and I feel like I didn't really like accurately kind of explain like what I'm doing. Like I said in the first video that I'm here for like 2.5, 3 months, but it's like my trial run. I got a visa for a reason, and that's to stay more long-term and potentially move here. And I feel like this has been my kind of trial run to be like, does this make sense for me and my schedule and my work and whatnot? I feel like younger me was so stubborn. If I had an idea, I would see it through to completion, even if it was like doing me harm or wasn't good for me. And sometimes it was to a fault where I just like didn't want to be seen as like giving up. Hence why I now in my late 20s am trying to just be more gentle with this approach. I guess I'm just kind of copying the steps of some friends who work corporate jobs, but they work fully remote, where they'll go to a place for a couple months, try it out, and then some of them loved it and some of them didn't love it. And so I think that's why it's valuable to kind of, if you're able and your job and your life allows you to, give it a test run. Anyways, I know some people were a bit heated when I said I was moving and then I said I was gonna only be there for 3 months. But the plan is in 2024 to give up my New York apartment and to ideally come to Paris. So I'm subletting my spot right now, but I need to finish up my lease. I need to go back to New York for a bit because like all my stuff's there. And we'll see. 2024 is gonna be interesting. But I don't imagine myself getting a Parisian lease right away. I ideally would honestly sublet for a while because I want to try out different neighborhoods. But it's been interesting comparing a bit of American culture with French culture. Actually, no. More specifically, I'm just comparing New York culture to Paris culture because it's way too broad otherwise. But it's been interesting getting to compare a bit of the two and kind of experience a little bit more of local life. I will say with trying out a new place, the first like 5 weeks is kind of shitty. I'm only now slowly starting to find a bit more of a rhythm and see some people more consistently and have my little spots and things that I enjoy. You know, you don't need a huge friend group. It really just takes like one good person to like transform a city. Oh my god, on that note, Nick just texted me. Wait, let's go let him in. Hello.
Good morning or evening.
Or bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Sweet Nicholas.
We are fresh into town. Just
Yes.
arrived. Croissant Eden.
Yeah. Straight off the Eurostar.
Going to see the Rothko exhibit at the Fondation Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
It's an endowment that puts on some really interesting exhibitions.
Yeah.
This building I think is pretty new.
Okay.
Like within the last like 5 or 10 years, but it's super impressive.
You can see a little peek of the architecture and I'm like, it's stunning.
She's stunning.
She's futuristic. Wait, it's so cute.
I want to get hit by that bus so badly.
Regina George.
I want to just
That's the cutest little bus I've ever seen. Wow.
almost makes you want a croissant.
From the very end of the Tuileries Gardens. There's so many museums in Paris, it could be a little bit overwhelming, and I feel like I've done a lot of the main ones several times. Like I've been to the Louvre and Musée d'Orsay, which I love, but I haven't been to Jules de Palme, which is an incredible photography museum, and I checked it out today. They have these different photography exhibitions every like 3 to 4 months, and one of the ones that just went on, which I thought was incredible, was by Julia Margaret Cameron, and she was this badass photographer from like the 1860s. To see photographs from that time period, hair and their outfits and their expressions was so fascinating. A really amazing thing to check out, and a lot of just like cute older little French locals here. And thankfully the sun is out. I don't think it's gonna stay out, but enjoying it for now and enjoying a little walk in the gardens, and yeah, highly recommend. Hello. how's it going? I tried out a TikTok tutorial of like Rockstar Girlfriend to live out my 2015 little punk Tumblr girl dreams. And now I just have super heavy eyeliner on. But anyways, wanted to take a second to thank today's sponsor, BetterHelp. I feel like as I've been processing this past year and the new year ahead and all of the things that come alongside with that, it is so helpful to have somebody to talk with. And honestly, I feel like the last few months in Paris, I've faced like the most isolation it's okay, everything's fine, that I have in years. And because of that, it's really forced me to work on my relationship with myself and figuring out, you know, how I want my life to look and where I want to be headed. And so I'm such a huge fan of therapy because it is so helpful to have a licensed professional to really sit with you and support your mental health as you kind of figure out, you know, your life and go through these different motions and experiences and chapters. And I know the most intimidating part for a lot of people is getting started and finding the right therapist, because it is tricky to find somebody that feels like a good fit. And that's why I really like BetterHelp, is because they allow you to basically try out different therapists until you find someone that you can like, so you can switch and try someone new completely for free. And I really, really love that it's completely online. That's huge for me. I love being able to do it from the comfort of my own home, and that allows me to be able to do it no matter where in the world I am. And it's super easy to sign up. It just takes basically filling out a few different questions to get matched with somebody and start right away. So if you have been thinking about maybe starting therapy and you want somebody to talk to, I feel you, and BetterHelp could be a good fit. Of course, everything is linked down below, and that's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, and you can use betterhelp.com/AlenaTaber for 10% off your first month if you want to try it out. So consider checking it out and taking charge of your mental health. So thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Hello from a very cozy day. It's not immediately left as soon as I left the museum, so I'm just cozying in for now. And I figured I'd share a few books that I've read in the past few weeks. I'm still aiming for a yearly book goal, but I'm definitely behind. I think I'm gonna get to like 45 books instead of 50 this year. So close, but so far. I've recently finished these: Big Swiss, August Blue by Deborah Levy, and Viper's Dream by Jake Lamar. Big Swiss was super fun. It kind of reminded me of like Otessa Monfeg, if I'm saying that right, with a kind of like chaotic, messed up. The premise is kind of like a transcribist is transcribing the interviews of a therapist, and then she eventually like falls for one of the people that she's been listening into the therapy sessions on. It's like very sharp, strange, and witty writing, just like a good combo. And then this book, Deborah Levy, I feel like her writing's a little bit more like surreal. Like it's kind of like absurd and dreamy, you can't really tell like what's reality. And the concept is kind of like this professional pianist who's like a child prodigy, and she basically is kind of going through like a bit of maybe a mental breakdown of sorts, following her on her own journey of like self-exploration and figuring out her identity. Everybody who reads this will get something different out of it. And then the last one I read recently was Viper's Dream by Jake Lamar, and I'm a big fan of Colson Whitehead, and this is very Colson Whitehead-esque, set in like 1930s Harlem, following the jazz scene there and the drug scene. I always love reading like historical fiction, especially placed in old-time New York. And I literally was gasping at the end of this book. I was reading this alongside Ashley, and she's like, "Are you okay?" Because I was like, oh my god. Good books. And I'm getting ready in a little bit here. I'm gonna meet Moya for dinner at a little diptyque event, which should be fun. So let's get ready.